Welcome to the Mountain View Pure Podcast, where your journey to exceptional water quality begins. Here's your host, Dan Toth, owner of Mountain View Pure Water. They proudly serve homeowners in the Tri-Cities and beyond, offering advanced water and air purification solutions that support a healthier lifestyle. The mission is clear, helping you get great water.
Clean water is just the beginning. Discover how a whole home filtration system can transform your entire home's water quality and your daily life. Welcome back, everyone. Skip Monty here, co-host / producer, back in the studio with Dan Toth, owner of Mountain View Pure Water. Dan, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks, Skip. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and I've got a lot of questions based on our last session, but I know we're supposed to move on to a different subject, and that being, what are the benefits of a whole home water filtration system?
There are a lot of things that we can talk about, so I'll just get started I'll talk about well water first. If you have well water, you already understand that the water can have odors, it can stain things, it can have a lot of residue buildup, and with those issues, there's also the potential for contamination, bacteria and things like that, E. coli, that can be present in the well water. So having your water tested is very important to protect your family's health and to also protect your appliances and the things that you've invested in your home. And so that's a really good thing for someone to do if they have well water already, make sure that they're taking care of their family and they're protecting their investment. When we look at city water, a lot of people have the conception that the water is safe because they're purchasing it, or that it's regulated by the government. The water that's coming to them is clean and safe. That is kind of a misnomer. I think that when we think about city water being safe, the correct term would be sanitary. The water is sanitary. For a long time, chlorine has been the method that is generally used in water purification or water filtration from the city, municipal water supply, county, whoever it may be that is supplying your water. And the reality is the water quality itself isn't that amazing, but what they've done is they have cleaned it up so it's nice and clear, and it comes to you in a form that looks nice and clean. It doesn't have cloudiness, it doesn't necessarily have much smell except for the chlorine smell. And over the years, chlorine has kind of been revealed as something that we don't necessarily want in our water, because what do we use chlorine for? Well, it's in bleach and it's in every sanitizing, cleaning agent that you use to kill germs and kill stuff. And so people have kind of figured out, hey, I don't know if I want chlorine in my water. And so based on that, the water treatment systems have kind of moved on to bromide now. Most of the water treatment that I've looked at recently has been treated with bromide. And there's not a big difference between chlorine and bromide, but it doesn't say chlorine, so I think the consensus is that it's not anymore. So maybe we've moved on to something cleaner, safer, but it is really just a disinfection agent. And so the water is coming from a source. Sometimes it's a well, sometimes it's surface water that the municipal water supply is gathering the water from. Some water goes to the customers and then also is reclaimed and comes back to the city. They clean that up with several different filtration and cleaning processes, and then that water is added back into the water that comes out to the customers. And so some of the things that are left in there that they just don't remove are very harmful to us, or potentially harmful. I guess it depends on who you listen to. We know that pharmaceuticals aren't good for us, and we shouldn't be taking someone else's pharmaceuticals, but it's largely impossible for the city water supply to remove all the pharmaceuticals from the reclaimed water. So we are getting some of somebody else's pharmaceuticals, and that's not a good idea. We also get some nitrates, which can be fertilizers or organic waste. Think about that for a moment. Someone else's organic waste in your drinking water. Along with that is the microplastics that we have heard of, potentially lead from plumbing. that hasn't been converted over to a more modern material. Chromium hexavalent, or chromium 6. If you've ever seen the movie Erin Brockovich, that's the chemical that she was fighting against that was contaminating that small town. So there's a lot of things that are in the water that can be detrimental to our health that aren't necessarily legally removed by necessity because the EPA doesn't have a standard for it. If anyone wants to find out some more about these things, they can look on a website called the Environmental Working Group. A really easy way to access this is just type into your browser, search EWG, and it will bring you to Environmental Working Group. And you can click the tap water database. That will prompt you to put your zip code in, and then from there you can choose the water treatment plant that you get your water from. And then it will show you the water quality report assessed by current health values and current health standards. The scary part about this is the water quality report typically uses terms like maximum contaminant level. Well, I don't know about you, but maximum contaminant level doesn't give me a warm, fuzzy feeling when I think of that's the most of a contaminant that they can allow in the water they're selling me to drink. The water is also typically thought of as being potable or potable, which is drinkable. And in the way that I look at health and wellness, you shouldn't consume that water in its raw form coming from the city. And so there's a lot of things that need to be looked at as far as the water quality. But some of the reasons why a filtration system would be good, even on city water, is to remove those chemicals to start out with. Carbon filtration can remove a lot of the chemicals that are passed on. These are byproducts of chlorination and bromination, halioacetic acids, trihalomethane, things like that, that are not safe for us to consume. That can be removed with carbon filtration, as well as some of the microplastics that we've heard about can be removed by carbon filtration as well, largely. One of the other problems that we have with the water that comes into our house, whether it's well water or city water, is the amount of hardness, which is dissolved mineral. Calcium, magnesium, it can be iron or lead that can be in the water. And that can cause buildup on our jets in the dishwasher, maybe the shower head, around the faucets and fixtures. That can cause failure in those things. It can cause our appliances that use water, like a dishwasher or washing machine, water heater, to fail prematurely. I think everyone has the understanding now that things aren't quite made like they used to be made. They're not made to last as long. And so we want to get the most life out of our appliances as possible. And so having treated water, conditioned water in your home that removes those minerals to help your appliances and faucets and fixtures last longer is definitely a huge benefit to the homeowner. One of the other things that people don't think about is soaps and cleaning products also have lots of different chemicals in them to cause sudsing and to be effective. And when you have hardness in your water, that hardness mineral bonds with the soap and it forms a soap curd or soap scum. You may have noticed this on your dishes or in the shower, and it's really hard to clean off. And it needs another harsh chemical in order to remove it, as well as some elbow grease. And so removing the minerals from your water before it goes into your home is a great way to save cleaning and extra work around the house as well.
Wow. Yeah, I'm quite familiar with that soap scum, unfortunately. Well, how does and I think I know the answer to this, and you touched on it. How does a whole home water filtration system compare to a pitcher filter or even a refrigerator water filter?
Well, there's several different levels of filtration. And so carbon filtration gets rid of taste and odor issues and chemicals and things that you would notice by tasting it or smelling it. Softener removes the hardness minerals that cause extra cleaning and extra soaps to be purchased and causes our appliances to degrade and wear out quicker. But then there's also the issue of, sometimes water is not sanitary. So if you have water that's not sanitary, maybe there's a boiled water notice or you have well water. Ultraviolet sterilization is a phenomenal way to have peace of mind that the water coming to your home is disinfected, it's sanitary. And then on top of all of that, reverse osmosis for the water that you're actually drinking, cooking with, consuming. That means that water has all of the other contaminants, things like pharmaceuticals and herbicides, pesticides. Those things have been removed. All of the things that can be hormone disruptors or endocrine disruptors in the body are removed from that water, largely removed. We're talking 96 to 98% reduction after it has gone through carbon filtration and the softening unit already, to make sure that the water that's going into your body is very safe. It's safe for your metabolic processes. It's safe to not add any more toxins to your body. And I think that's the word that I haven't used it yet, but toxins in our body causes us to age. It causes us to have disease. And it causes us to have all sorts of problems with our physical, just the way the body functions. And so when we can keep toxins from entering our body by making sure that the water quality that we come in contact with and that we drink and cook with is clean and free of toxins, that makes us much healthier. And so that's what we really focus on. We focus on making sure that we take care of the entire issue of water quality, from just taking care of the house, making sure that all the appliances, faucets, and fixtures last longer, the house stays cleaner, and the water that we drink is safer. But when we do have a better quality water, we don't need soaps and cleaning products that have chemicals in them. So you can move to a plant-based soaps and cleaning products that is safer for you, safer for your family, and for the environment.
Wow. Well, there's a lot to talk about there, apparently. It's amazing. You just have no idea, So I really appreciate you sharing with us. I think we probably need to approach this subject again in another episode. It's a deep subject.
It is. There's a lot to talk about.
Pun intended. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Dan, thanks so much for stopping by. We will catch you in the next one.
All right. Thanks, Skip. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks so much. Have a glass of water.
I will.
There you go. See ya.
Thank you for joining us on the Mountain View Pure podcast. When you're ready to transform your home's water and air quality, call or text 423-218-9361 for a free in-home consultation. For more information, visit mvpwater.net. Remember, great water is the foundation of a great life.